Once you've logged into your receptionist console, we're going to start at the left-hand side and show you the call console. Now the call console is the area here that all of your calls will populate in. When you have an incoming call, it will show in the screen here with the caller ID information of the person that's calling you. You can click to answer that call, or you can click to end the call if you're already on a call. You can also click to transfer to your other users. If you're ever on a conference call, you'll notice that call move to the area where it says conference call, allowing you to click a button to leave that conference call or end that conference call. And finally, the lower left-hand section of your call console will show queue calls. Queued calls is only an area that you'll need if you are also a member of a call center. This will separate your call center calls versus your receptionist direct calls. Next to Call Console, you're going to notice an icon for call history. And if you click on that icon, this will show you your missed calls, your received calls, and your dialed calls. All these calls are available to click on and call back through your call history. Moving over to your contact section. This is where all of your feature functionality is located for your receptionist console. The first tab I'd like to cover is Favorites, because this is the tab that you'll be in the most. In Favorites, you're going to see all of your different users and a status on those users. Green is available, red is on a call. This is so you know if you have a live call in your receptionist console, if somebody's red, that means they're on a call. You maybe just want to send it to their voicemail or let that person know that that other user is not available. If somebody is green, they are not currently on a call, and I can click on that user and actually find them by clicking on Search and click on to transfer to that person, or if that person is on a call, I can click on them and barge in if needed. Or I can click on a user that's green, call them directly, or extension dial. Now let's show you a live call so you can see what the transfer buttons look like. You'll notice a live call come in under your call console area. This live call is available to click on and answer. I'm going to click the ANS button, which means answer. Once I've answered that call, you'll see that call is active. When that call is active, you'll be able to transfer that call or speak to that particular person. I can also click hold to put the call on hold and retrieve it back by clicking on answer. Now, if this person that's calling would like to be transferred to another person, what I'll do is I'll click on my favorites and I'll find a user that they would like to speak to. If they would like to speak to somebody that is currently on a call, that will show me that that user is red. What I could do at that point is just click on the VM button and send this call to that person's voicemail. If the person that they're looking for is available, you'll see that the light is green on their status. And at that point, I can click on transfer and send that call directly to that user. If for any reason I have to emergency barge in on a person because they're waiting for a particular call, I can click on barge in and let that person know that they have a call waiting. Underneath your contacts, you have different tabs. If you're looking for somebody specific and you have more than one list of phone numbers, including your favorites or your personal or your speed dials, you can click on the search area and type in a few characters to bring up everybody who matches that specific criteria. That way you can locate a particular phone number, whether it be one of your users or even an outside line that you'd like to transfer a call to. In this case, if I just simply type in the word tech, I'll have multiple things come up, but this way everything that matches will come up regardless if it's a user or if it's one of my speed dials. And in this case, you see that this was a speed dial. So I can actually extend this information and I can transfer a call to an outside line. Or if I'd like to just click and call somebody, I can click my call button and that will make my phone call the phone number that I have programmed for this tech. Now going into speed dials, you'll see a tab that says speed dial. In your user portal, if you add speed dial numbers, they will all appear in this section. Speed dials can be users' extensions, outside phone numbers, home lines, cell phones. It can be any phone number you'd like. This is a list of commonly called people that you associate yourself with. If I click on the pencil on the far right, I can add a speed dial by just clicking on the word add and typing in a speed dial code that I can also use from my phone's keypad and that user's phone number and information. And then clicking on enter. By hitting enter, you're saving that person's phone number and that will remain in that place until you decide you no longer need that phone number. You can click and highlight and then click delete to remove a phone number. Now in the Personal tab, you're going to see an area, if you click on that Personal tab, that will show different phone numbers that you can also click and call. These are phone numbers that are not associated with a speed dial number, but you can still click and call them. Now you notice I have a live call on my screen. If I wanted to, I can go ahead and click on a user and just click transfer to send that call directly to somebody without answering the call. This is more like a blind transfer where you don't have to speak to that person first before transferring. And to add personal speed dials, you're going to still go over to the right-hand corner and click on the pencil to add a speed dial. These are your personal contacts. They're all only web-based, but you can click to call, click to transfer, and click to dial at any time. Your group area is going to show you every extension and phone number within your group staff. So that's going to show lines that maybe you haven't chose to make a favorite to see their status, but you can still click and call and transfer calls to that user or to their voicemail. So essentially, the tab that says group is going to show you everybody. Favorites are just going to be the users that you've decided you want to see a status on. And again, the status is going to show you on the circle if they're on a call or available, or also if the user's on Do Not Disturb, you will see a Do Not Disturb status. Now going back to your main list of users, if you want to go back to your main status of users, you can click through your tabs, or you can get rid of your selection completely by clicking on the X to the right to bring up your entire list again. This list is going to show you everybody again, and also, very importantly, a section that says notes. So the column that says notes to the right will allow you to enter notes on a particular user. This is the case that somebody comes up to you and maybe announces that they'll be in a meeting for a few hours to send their calls to a specific person, or maybe if somebody is on vacation. So if I wanted to click on somebody specifically, I can click on the notes section and I can put on vacation. Once I click OK on that note will always be in there for me. This is only a note that I can see as a receptionist, but again, this gives me an idea of where all my users are at any time. When you have a bigger enterprise, it's a great time saver, so you don't have to write down these notes. You can manually type them in and save them within your console. And at any time, I can go back into that note and I can highlight and delete it and just click OK to remove it completely. If you scroll through, you'll notice that you can see everybody's extension. You can even see if a particular user has their extension forwarded to a specific phone number, or again, if they're on Do Not Disturb, red on a call, or green available. If you have instant messaging within your UC1 application, you're also able to click on Instant Message and see if that user is signed into their instant messaging or online and click and send them a message. Not every user has this assigned to them for their receptionist console, but if you do have this column, you are able to click and send them a message. That concludes the receptionist console overview. And to sign out of your receptionist console, the link to sign out is in the upper right-hand corner. Saving your workspace will allow you to save any changes that you have done during the day while you are in your console. This includes adding speed dials, adding favorites, or changing around the appearance of your console. By clicking yes, the next time you log in, all those changes will be appearing.